We are in the club studio and we have something very special here. A lot of discussion out there about this one, and this is the new GC3 from Foresight, and we wanted to go ahead and pop it open for you guys and get a closer look about what's going on. Now, if I can get this without me falling over myself, this is some form factor. So when you open up the box, you have the unit, you have our fancy alignment stick, you have all of our cords and cables, and what may be the best looking little unit I've seen, the new Foresight GC3.
James, we're pretty excited today. We have a lot of stuff to talk about, and we're gonna try to make this video not 30 minutes long. I know we've talked about it before, but we have a lot of people who are ready to hear about this device, the Foresight GC3. But before we jump into it, we currently use the GC Quad, 4 cameras in our tech studio. Mm-hmm. You currently use the GC2,
for all
which
my
is
work.
the precursor to this one that has 2 cameras.
Yep.
And you can add an HMT to bring a third. Today, they have this one, which is the GC3. Now, this box is completely empty because it's actually set up behind us here, and we'll get to that in a second. But before we do so, there's a couple things we should talk about, which is GC3, obviously, 3 cameras.
3 cameras.
When you have been using yours versus the GC Quad in here, what are the biggest differences you've seen?
The biggest differences is what are you going to get on club data? Because as you add cameras, you get more capability for capturing club data. So depending on what you're doing, it really unlocks potential.
So GC3 is kind of that next step up, or HMT plus GC2 combined into one unit. Completely portable, super durable. Form factor you guys will see flashing over the screen as we talk, so they don't have to look at us. Cool. But it has basically everything you'd want. But why don't we have Dan take some swings? You can kind of walk through what he's seeing as the swings, at least from the data standpoint. We're not gonna have the data flash on the screen and everything, but you'll walk through about how fast it is, things like that, and accuracy, and then we'll come back and wrap it up a little bit.
Absolutely. All right, we've moved over to the hitting bay, and we have Dan with us here, and we're gonna have some fun, and we've been having some fun with the new Foresight GC3 unit right here. Dan, you're gonna give us a few swings, and we're gonna talk through some stuff?
Yeah, I can, and I've been in the tech studio quite a bit. We've had a ton of fun with GC Quad, so seeing GC3 come out, presentation-wise, I'm super interested to see a couple of things. Obviously, accuracy is a big deal, but so is speed. And jumping in this, I've hit a few to warm up already. James, I want your opinion on this as we get going. When I hit a ball, I feel like and maybe it's just because I was warming up and watching the unit, but you could see the numbers register super fast.
Well, that's the first thing that stood out to me, because I use the GC2 in everything that I do as far as reviews and stuff, and you work with the Quad a ton here in the club lab. So the first thing I noticed is it is a very, very fast unit. And the biggest part of that impresses me is, like, right now we have it set up, there are no wires. This is a wireless setup.
Yeah, fair play.
Yeah.
That's one thing obviously the GC Quad can move around. We've always had it connected here. Seeing the seamless ability to jump onto the device here, or the computer here, run it up onto the simulator as we watch it hit. Obviously that wasn't a good hit, but that's fine. Seeing that, super easy to use. There's something about the shaping of this unit too that's definitely different.
Yeah, I mean, if you put it next to the Quad, it looks similar enough that you recognize it as a Foresight unit, but they really paid attention to the form factor here. There's going to be a lot more versatility for those that want to take one of these somewhere to a range, or just setting it up in their house, their basement, whatever they've got going on. It's an easy setup to it. It's a good looking unit.
Yeah, one of the things I think is worth talking about, you've used 2 for a long time. And there's a certain presentation when you look at the unit. You get the data readouts you're looking for, but you also probably use an iPad quite a bit.
Absolutely.
With GC Quad, there's a really nice looking screen on there. One of the things that is super interesting about GC3 is the presentation's a bit different, but it's also a touch screen, which I think is pretty new in the launch monitor game, isn't it?
Definitely, and it's a nice addition into everything that we didn't really expect until we really got to working with the GC3. It's a good touch that's just going to add a little bit more versatility to the unit. And that was hit hard.
Yeah. The only thing I'm lacking from the GC3 right now is a draw. So if they can hook me up with one of those. Yeah, everything I see here is really interesting.